and the Commissioner for Works had no influence whatsoever in the giving out of local government jobs. I never wrote one single contract in the local government, did not influence any. How could somebody now give me almost £500 million?
Meanwhile, Governor Rochas Okorocha says he is not happy with the removal of his deputy. Reacting to the impeachment of Mr. Agbaso, Governor Okorocha says it is sad that even after he stepped in to resolve the situation, it had to get to the point of impeachment by the State Assembly. He goes on to wish Mr. Agbaso well and advised his successor to help advance the Imo rescue agenda of the government.
Members of the African People's Congress have threatened legal action against the Independent National Electoral Commission over its refusal to register the political group. Now, acting chairman of the group, Chief Onye Kwagonu, who addressed a news conference in Abuja, describes the action of INEC as illegal, baseless and malicious. He said that the Independent National Electoral Commission does not have the right to register any political party with its name, acronym, symbol or even logo until the case is finally disposed by a court of law.
In a view of this deliberate, illegal, baseless, malicious and premeditated action of INEC to deny the registration of APC after fulfillment of the constitutional requirements, APC wish to announce and declare our resolve to challenge this flimsy INEC decision in court as provided in Section 79 of the Electoral Act. INEC should note that since we have decided to seek judicial review of the decision of the Commission not to register our association, INEC, I repeat, for purpose of emphasis, INEC has no right to register any other political party with our name or acronym.
When we come back, we take a look at the thriving wave of crime in parts of Lagos State as we have a quick look into the background of what insecurity is taking in terms of its trend here in Lagos State.
And the Christian Association of Nigeria worries about the insecurity situation.
Please stay with us.
Art is a story. On Art House, we start from the beginning. The mixture of colors and the brushstrokes. The chiseled wonders that link art and science. The steps in each performance. The highs and the lows of emotion. The world of words, rhymes and rhythms.
But this is not a political poem. It's a revolution. It's the evolution of a people refusing to suffer and smile no more.
On every page, all the elements of a good read. Where else can you get it? Art House. Life is art.
Our top stories and other programs are on our website. It's www.channelstv.com, and on YouTube, it's youtube.com/channelsweb.
Or you can watch us on the go on your iPad, iPhone, the BlackBerry, the Nokia, or even the Android operating device. That's when you log on to channelstv.com. Christians globally are today commemorating Good Friday, the Friday before Easter Sunday. On this day, Christians mark the passion and death of Jesus Christ on the cross. This is an observance that involves people fasting and praying. And many church services are held in the afternoon, usually between noon and 3 p.m., to remember the hours when Jesus hung on the cross. The churches also observe the day by reenacting the procession of the cross as as in the ritual of the Stations of the Cross, which depicts the final hours of Jesus' life.
Well, the Christian Association of Nigeria has again appealed to the federal government to urgently find new ways to tackle the increasing level of insecurity in the northern part of the country. The General Secretary of the association, Reverend Musa Ashake, says the height of insecurity in the country has gone beyond the issue of paying lip service, as no one knows who will be the next victim. He added that the impunity which some Christian communities in northern Nigeria have come under the sword, bullets and bombs of men who claim to be fighting in the name of their God has reached an alarming rate.
Well, the feeling of being under siege appears to be resting on the residents of Lagos, or the nation's commercial capital, with a recent increase of armed robbery and kidnap cases. In the last 1 week, no less than 7 incidents of violent crime have been recorded in different parts of the metropolis, not counting others that have gone unnoticed. Our correspondent, Charles Eruka, tells us more.
Insecurity in Nigeria has been a major headache, particularly for the northern part of the country, which has been at the receiving end of attacks from the Boko Haram sect. Lagos in the southwest may have largely escaped the spate of terror attacks, but the state has recently been hit by a massive crime wave characterized by kidnappings and armed robbery. Residents may have found the recent upsurge in crime rather staggering, considering the visible presence of policemen and patrols all over the state. All the more disturbing is the possibility of Boko Haram surfacing in Lagos, following reports that on Tuesday, March the 19th, 25 members of the sect were arrested in the Jora area following a joint army and SSS operation. However, armed robbers and kidnappers have been running amok almost unchecked. Now here's a timeline of violent crimes recorded in the last 1 week alone. On Thursday, March the 21st, a senior manager in a telecoms firm was snatched by waiting gunmen outside his residence while driving out at about 6 a.m. Saturday, March the 23rd, armed robbers attacked houses at Acadia Estate in Lekki. That same morning, gun-toting bandits attempted to grab a woman who was jogging along Admiralty Way in Lekki Phase 1. Later in the evening, unknown gunmen snatched a Briton who had stopped by a traffic light at Victoria Island. On Sunday, March the 24th, armed robbers snatched a Range Rover R3 from a man who had stopped for petrol at a filling station along Awolowo Road, Ikoyi. The next day, Monday, March the 25th, 2 armed robbers were killed in a shootout with the police after attacking some residences. However, residents of Victoria Garden City Estate were not so fortunate after they were attacked by robbers pretending to be guests at a party. The police had been alerted but failed to turn up. Nobody appears to be safe anymore. The law enforcement agencies have instead turned their weapons on one another after 2 officers of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps lost their lives in a gunfight with a team of policemen on Wednesday. Like other festive periods which usually witness an upsurge in criminal activity, this Easter is experiencing a common phenomenon. It underscores the need for the people to be more vigilant and security conscious, while law enforcement agencies also need to increase their security alertness. Charles Eruka for Channels Television News.
In other news, controversy has continued to trail the termination of the lease agreement on a 4-star hotel and conference center granted to by Courtney Aviation Services, operators of the Murtala Mohammed Airport 2 by the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria. While the owners of the MMA2 believe that fans' action shows disregard for the rule of law, the Airport Authority says by Courtney Aviation Services cannot continue to change the rules in the middle of the game. Our aviation correspondent, Bukola Joe Ketumbi, reports.
About 6 years ago, this was the pomp that greeted the formal opening of the Murtala Mohammed Airport 2 in Lagos. The first airport in Africa to be built under a public-private partnership received accolades. Now the beautiful tune is changing as operators of the Muritala Mohammed Port 2 and now